Do you think people who watch the news on a regular basis as an effort to stay informed are maybe doing more harm than good, like harm to their own physical body and psychologically to their own mind?
Short answer. For many people, yes, how and how much news they consume can do more harm than good, even when the intention is to stay informed. The issue isn't the news itself, but the dose, format, and emotional processing of it. Here's a clear, balanced breakdown. Psychological effects 1. Chronic stress ampersand anxiety. Modern news is constant 24/7 cycles. Alarm focused crises, conflict, outrage. Often framed to provoke emotional reaction. This keeps the brain in a low grade threat state. Over time, this can lead to anxiety, irritability, rumination, sleep disturbance, a sense of helplessness or dread. Your nervous system isn't built to process global suffering in real time all day long. 2. Negativity availability bias. Because bad news is more attention grabbing, the world feels far more dangerous than it statistically is. Rare events seem common. Positive or neutral developments are underrepresented. This can subtly distort worldview, leading to cynicism, hopelessness, loss of trust in people or institutions. 3. Emotional overload without resolution. News presents problems without offering closure. Personal agency. A way to meaningfully help. That mismatch high emotional input, low actionable output is psychologically draining. Physical effects, yes, there are real ones. Chronic stress from news exposure can contribute to elevated cortisol, increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, tension headaches, digestive issues, immune suppression. This doesn't mean watching the news makes you sick directly, but chronic activation of the stress response absolutely affects the body. Who is most at risk? Regular news consumption is more likely to be harmful if someone is already anxious or sensitive to stress, has low emotional regulation skills, consumes news passively or compulsively, watches sensationalist or outrage driven outlets, consumes news late at night. For emotionally resilient people with strong boundaries, the impact is usually less severe. Does staying informed still matter? Yes, but being informed does not require constant exposure. There's a big difference between intentional, limited, contextual news intake versus continuous, emotionally charged news consumption. One builds understanding, the other builds stress. Healthier ways to stay informed. Many people do better with checking news once a day or a few times a week, reading instead of watching, less emotional intensity, choosing long form journalism over breaking news, avoiding doom scrolling, pairing news intake with grounding activities. Some people even benefit from asking, does this information improve my ability to act or just increase my anxiety? Bottom line, watching the news regularly can increase stress, affect mental health, have downstream physical effects, especially when consumed excessively or emotionally. Staying informed is valuable. Being constantly alarmed is not. If you want, I can also help you. Design a low stress news diet. Identify signs news consumption is affecting your body. Compare reading versus watching news effects. Talk about how this connects to inflammation and health, which you've asked about before.